Every bow season has a different rhythm, a series of highs and lows. In 2016, that started on opening night for me. Opening night, there was only one deer we were going to shoot, a deer we called E.T., but you never really expect him to show up on October 1st.
Opening day. We got the whole crew.
Deer movement on October 1st can be hit or miss, but this night you could tell it was on. As dusk approached, a big-bodied deer entered the field, and there was no doubt who it was. Well, we hit a buck last night, a buck we call E.T. He stepped out at the very last second, and it was a long shot, about 80 yards. It was a sleepless night for sure. We are a little bit tore up. We can't really tell where it hit him, even on the video with the Luminoc, but we do know there's a slick trick in him, and he ran off with it. It's a sick feeling hitting a deer and not finding it. As we tracked this deer, it was apparent he wasn't lethally hit, but you never really know that until you see him on the hoof again. Suddenly our objective had changed from hunting to trying to confirm if E.T. was still alive. Weeks went by with no sign of E.T. Doubt began to creep in, and I began to question where my arrow had really hit. This doubt was alleviated on October 22nd when E.T. walked by one of our trail cameras with a scar on the top of his neck. A few days later, we saw E.T. on the hoof, and my obsession for this buck was once again ignited. Hunting one particular deer can be extremely difficult. It takes persistence, time, and generally a little luck. Luck wasn't on my side, as early November was filled with south wind after south wind, keeping me out of where E.T. lived. With no way to hunt E.T., my attention turned to some new farms that I had just began to scout. These farms showed a lot of potential, and as the rut peaked, I passed on several great deer, all of which I thought needed one more year. Living in the Midwest is a huge blessing as a deer hunter. Many of the deer in our state have the genetic potential to become giants, but they must reach that 5.5 mark. I knew for a fact that all 3 of these deer were only 4.5, making me pull off them. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't hard letting these deer walk by me, and as the rut began to wane, there was almost a little sense of regret. I awoke pessimistic on November 17th, as it was once again south winds and well above average temperatures. I headed to a stand hung by some buddies of mine, hoping to run into a big 9-point. As the morning light began to fill the woods, a big deer trudged up the ridge, and there was no doubt he was a shooter. That is a beast of a buck. What a freaking deer. We're gonna go look at him real quick before anybody gets here. He's an absolute freaking stud. Look at this buck, guys. I never thought it was actually gonna happen. This is the warmest morning it's been in November. It's 58 degrees this morning, and he bedded right here. We thought it was the big 9. It's not the big 9. This is a giant 10-pointer. And we've persevered through so much this year. It's been a lot of hours. I'm fortunate enough to have friends that put me in a stand like this, and to have a deer run by like this is just unbelievable. Patience and perseverance pays off every time is a quote I often heard my grandpa say growing up. This quote certainly embodies my 2016 bow season. It isn't the inches or points that make this season a success, but rather the time and effort spent in nature and with good friends. These are the things that will last in my memories, and these are the things that will keep me coming back.